Hello, folks. This Hangout on Air is live, and we are examining Old Forester. People are going to get sick of me talking about Old Forester. I did a duo review with David. I did a duo review with my daughter. I did a solo review, which I posted today, and then I did a taste challenge, which was a catastrophe. And now tonight, a couple of guys wanted to examine it. We have Johnny Nille from Georgia Beer Reviews, and we have the Whiskey Scout from Kansas.
Hello here.
And myself. Now, this morning, I try to be so careful. And then I was saying, I'm going to do this one. I'm saying this beforehand. I'm going to do it right. I'm going to do it right. And then in the middle of, then I was mortified in the middle of the examination. I was saying, oh, I forgot. Stedman Select is 86 proof. You moron. I'm saying this to myself. After that, I got scared. You could see the video. After I realized Stedman Select was 86 proof, I got scared. Because I was going on and on about Old Forester, and then I said, I don't know what's in my left hand now. But it just goes to show you, you can buy something for it was $19.46 at Walmart today. I noticed they dropped the price 50 cents. You can buy something that you think is a cheapo, and you can be well shocked. I guess Sazerac knows what they're doing over there. You watched that one, didn't you, John? Oh, yeah, John Nille said, uh-oh.
Yeah, that was surprising.
But really, the bottom line is, if you're not willing to bomb out, you shouldn't be doing blind taste tests live on air.
You do that to accept the results. I mean, that's all there is to it. It's how you learn.
That's how you learn. And you can't go into that being scared.
No.
Because you're going to really screw up then. Now, anyway, we're looking at Old Forester tonight. I have this plastic bottle. Y'all have nice glass bottles. I got this for $8.99 at Mathern's. I figured that was a good deal for $3.75.
Yeah. On this one, I paid $24.99 just about 2.5 hours ago. Yeah. I can get it for $19.99 in Wichita, but it's $5 worth of gas and an hour worth of my time. So,
yeah, it's not worth it.
Better to pay the $5 more. It's $24.99 is what I actually paid for it.
I can't remember what the $7.50 is at Mathern's, but it's probably about $20.
That's what I paid, $19.99 for this 750 ml bottle.
Yeah. Now, if you look on their website, there are so many varieties today. I'm thinking 20 years ago they might have had this and the bonded, right? They didn't have this,
right? This
panorama, right?
Yeah. They've branched out. I forget what else their sideline is. I don't know if it's I think it's 1792 or Woodford Reserve. I can't remember which one. I don't know off the top of my head. But then they've got 1920 edition. They got the pre-prohibition 1890 edition, I think it was, and the 1866. They got like three. They just came out with a 1910 edition. And of all those, most everybody agrees that the 1920 is the best, and it's also the most highest price out of all. The original three. The 1910 is a recent release.
Yeah, I reviewed the 1920 with my friend David in my living room, and we really liked it. Now I'm going to look at their website right now. 1910 Old Fine. There's the President's Choice, the one we're doing, the original signature. Oh, I'm sorry, the original 86 proof. There's Signature 100 proof. There's 1897 bottled and bond. 1870 original batch. There's the Mint Julep, which I guess is a liqueur. There's the 1920. There's the single barrel. There's the 2018 birthday bourbon. And the Statesman. So you could spend a lot of your money on just Old Forester, really.
Yeah. Yeah. The only one I've had out of the whole mess has been the signature, the 100 proof signature version. And I'll be honest, if you watch my review, and I didn't care for it a whole lot. So I've kind of steered away from Old Forester because of it.
Oh, no.
But but you can have a bad version that's not maybe as good as the rest, and it doesn't necessarily mean that they're all going to follow that same suit. But in my case, it's just like it made me a little gun shy. So this was a good opportunity to put my feet back in the water.
Okay. Now I'm going to read one comment and then we'll get going. NA says, "Hey, Ronnie, my liquor store wouldn't let me buy more than one Bourbon County BCBS. Bourbon County, what is it?"
He's talking about the Bourbon County Stout.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what BCBS was. He's talking about a Goose Island Bourbon County Stout. I was pretty disappointed. I only wanted one original and one variant. Since I could only get one, I ended up purchasing just the original. Well, come on down to Mathern's and they'll let you buy all their cases of it. Cases of it. All right. And I'm not joking and I'm not being cheeky. There's no bottle limit in Louisiana. I can promise you that. First, I'll give you my background of Old Forester. I never had Old Forester until my friend David said, let's try the 1920, which we really liked. Then I was at his apartment and he said, you want to try the original? I said, sure. And I really liked it. Then Mathern's up and had these bottles. They had about 10 of them. They're from, I think, 2013. They always getting these deals. I don't know where they get this, but I don't mind because I can benefit. So they had them for $9.99, and I said, I'm not paying $9.99. Then when it dropped to $8.99, I bit. There's still one bottle left. I might buy the other. I'm not sure. My budget is getting a little extended this month, and I might need to cool it. I don't mean the budget's extended. I mean my spending within the budget is getting extended. And then I did the first taste challenge this morning, which we saw was a fiasco. But that's my experience. And my opinion is I like it. Now, we'll go to John and Illy and then the Whiskey Scout, and you can give us your background on it.
Well, I've had it many times before, although it has been a couple years since I last had it. When I was in my early 20s, the Old Forester and Crown Royal were two whiskeys that frequented our paddling camping trips that I used to go on. So I'm very familiar with the Old Forester.
Okay.
And for me, really, I never drank Old Forester at all, actually, until I bought the 100 proof signature about a couple of years ago, I'm guessing. And it kind of hung around for a while because it took me a long time to drink it. I didn't care for it. It was too floral in the notes I got off of it. And just for a side note, this bottle is from 18/8/15, so it's a August 18th, 2015 bottling.
Huh. Pretty fresh.
I'm getting better at deciphering these codes. I spend a lot of time doing it.
Yeah, mine, I'm pretty sure, is from 2013. Hopefully it was stored in the dark somewhere. But it doesn't taste like it's off or anything now. I'm going to look at their website for a moment. And don't worry, folks, we're going to read the comments. We're not going to be going on and on and on. I have to wake up early tomorrow anyhow. It says the first bottle bourbon. That's their trademark, actually. They're talking about their awards. They won a double gold medal at the 2013 San Francisco World Spirits Competition. There's a good example of quality. It is the only bourbon continuously distilled and marketed by the founding family before, during, and after Prohibition. It was one of those, what was it, 5 different whiskeys that were allowed to be produced during Prohibition as medicinal products. Now, aroma, sharp and sweet with a strong floral character that swirls with hints of mint, rich tobacco leaf, and vanilla. A touch of oak and pine provides a strong underpinning. Let's see about that. The color is just what? Straight up amber?
Yeah.
Yeah, deep amber.
Yeah. Strong, sweet. It's sharp, like they say. It'll jump you. It'll make you jump a little bit. Sweet, yeah. Go along with that. I guess they're right. But I don't know what y'all think about that description.
I don't know. I don't get the mint. The typical vanilla. I get a wood. I get a little bit of acetone on it.
Huh.
The sweetness is not really. It's there. It's more of a. It's not caramel. It's a lighter. It's almost a. It's a light sugar. It's not a deep caramel or even a toffee to me. Not on the nose anyway.
Now, if this is from Louisville, shouldn't it be called Old Urbaner? All right, but anyway, so you're not really picking up on a lot of what they're saying. Okay, I am, but maybe I'm a sucker for marketing. What about you, John?
Well, this is one of the ones that, I mean, I really enjoy the aroma. It's got a nice charred oak presence in the form of vanilla. It does, for me, there is a lot of caramel, and there's not so much a floral or a mint thing that I'm picking up on, but the Woodford Reserve had like an apple thing going on. To me, this has like a caramel apple thing going on with the aroma.
Oh.
And I think it smells really pleasant. I agree with the sweetness, the caramel. I don't pick up on the mint, but it maybe more of like a mentholating type thing, just kind of opens up the nostrils, but mint, not so much. It's one of the more pleasant and bold at the same time. It is a very bold aroma, but I like those aromas with my bourbons. So I really think it's a great smelling whiskey.
See, I get a little bit of that mint. My mama used to grow mint mint plants in the backyard, and it kind of reminds me of that a little bit. Not by any great measure, but a little bit.
Well, the mint should be coming from the rye notes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's a rye bourbon. It's not a wheat bourbon. And I don't get the floral notes on this one on the nose like I did on the 100. The signature. Okay, I just need to let that go. That was a bad one for me.
Yeah, you got traumatized. You got shook by that. I do that.
I do get the vanillas. Yeah, the vanillas are there, and that comes along with the wood. But there's just a little acetone, just a light acetone in the background of it. And that's not always an offensive thing. I mean, you get that in a lot of bourbons. And we're talking, this is a 4-year bourbon because it's not age stated, and it is a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, which means if it hasn't got a 36 or 24-month age statement anywhere on the bottle, which this one doesn't, that means it's at least a minimum of 4 years.
Right.
So we're dealing with, and I couldn't remember. Thank you, John, for saying that. Woodford Reserve was the other one. And, Woodford Reserve makes a good product. It's not something I like to drink all the time, but about once or twice a year, I do like to buy one of those small little 200 ml bottles of Woodford Reserve, and I'll drink it all. I mean, I enjoy it, but it's not a, it would become very old and passe to drink it a lot, to my palate anyway. So this already, I like the nose on this better than I do the signature. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, y'all ready to taste it?
Oh yeah.
Cheers.
Right. Cheers, folks. Ta-da. And this is their original product from 1870. This is what the company was built on, by the way. All right. Oh, yeah, baby. Now, oh heck, I forgot to read the tasting notes. Let me go back a little bit.
Brown sugar.
Yeah, and wood, charcoal.
Yep. And vanilla.
Yes. Let me bring this up. Hey, I'm getting a little waxy note, like a beeswax. Oh no, I know that's not right.
I could go with that. I could definitely go with that.
You ever got that in a whiskey before, like a beeswax?
Yeah, but Scotch, generally not.
Yeah, right. That's why I said I know that's not right. But
the Wild Turkey 81 proof, I thought had a beeswax note to it.
Oh yeah.
I've never had the 81.
What?
I've never had the Wild Turkey 81.
Oh man, you got to go get that Wild Turkey bourbon. They call it.
I got plenty of Wild Turkey. I got an 80 proof. The old 80 proof's the last one I've had. They boosted it up to 81, and I haven't had a bottle since. I still got a bottle of 80 proof, which has to be at least 6-7 years old downstairs.
Yeah, they came out with it in 2011. They called it Wild Turkey 81. But
So
then, about a year ago, they rebranded it as Wild Turkey Bourbon. That's the name.
So it's, even though I bought it probably 6-7 years ago, it's definitely older than that. It definitely had to be made prior to 2011.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, they're saying the taste sharp at first, but softens quickly with hints of oak, sweet corn, and rye grain character. Spicy with soft vanilla and light orange notes. Okay, let's see about all that. And no, I'm not going to drink liquor tomorrow. This is my Friday drink, okay? That's for the people that's keeping tabs on my scheduling. But I'm not really joking. I'm serious. This is Friday's imbibe. It's going to take forever to drink that dang Myers the way I'm working through it. I'm sorry, Myers is. Well, I'm going to say this. It's got a lot of wood. Whew, but you know what? It's got less wood than the doggone Stedman Select. That's what got me so messed up this morning. I know John Neely's thinking, man, I got to get that Stedman Select.
Yeah.
I never even heard of it.
Next time I'm in Florida, you bet I'll be looking for it.
Oh, well, the problem, it just came onto the market in 2018. But it's strange because it's only aged 3 years. But boy, that they must use alligator char on those barrels over there, because it's just like bam. And this one is not as profound. And that's what got me so confused this morning. Okay, all right. Let me just sip on this for a minute and think about it instead of blabbing. Getting a little nectar, or like honeysuckle wood. That's nectar. And a lot of the charred wood, a lot of that. If you're not a charred wood person, you better run, and run fast from this. Caramel candy, soda, caramel, the sugar, corn, sweet corn, rye. Yes, there's no doubt about that. Well, it's pretty well rounded, even though, and I think it's a fairly simple product. If you're looking for extreme complexity, well, I shouldn't even say it, because people that are looking for extreme complexity aren't going to buy this anyway. I mean, it's a stupid thing to say. A whiskey snob isn't going to buy Old Forester for $20 to $25 a bottle.
You never know.
They might, but they might buy so they can make an attack video. I call those attack videos, not reviews.
Well, so everybody, everybody's palate is slightly different on how they perceive and how they like things. And even a whiskey snob, if you want to use that term, if this fits their palate and they're looking for an everyday drinker that's just not going to break the budget, this is something they will get. I mean, but it's got to fit your palate. It's got to be something you're really interested in.
Yes.
No, I mean, this is going to be all right. It'll last me a while, but it's still there's still something wonky on it for me. I mean,
I shouldn't have brought up the politics stuff. I should have just kept it at it's kind of simple.
Yes, it is a simple bourbon, and I can tell you it'd make one heck of a Manhattan or something like that. You could substitute that in for the rye because it does have a high rye content and a higher rye content, I think, than a lot of what it normally would experience. I get a lot of allspice in it. I get just a little bit of dill from that rye. I get the brown sugar. I don't really get the orange they talked about. Still get the vanilla. Still get the oak and the burnt oak. The finish is medium tops. I think the most dominating feature that I get right off, and you got to remember, this is just a net pour. I just opened this bottle. It is still that brown sugar. I do get that right up front real quick. I still don't get a mint on it, but that might develop as the bottle opens up and I drink more of it. But it doesn't have that wonky floral taste, though, that the Signature has. And I don't know. I might have just got a bad bottle. It happens. I mean, it really does happen on that Signature. But it doesn't have that, thank goodness, because I'd be making all kinds of strange faces at you guys. but that's what I get. Medium finish, not even quite a medium finish on it. But it does finish well. Finishes spicy.
What do you think, John?
I think this is just an awesome product. When you did the solo review of the Old Forester, I got so excited because I'm thinking to myself, that's another opportunity for me to get another bottle and discuss it a little bit. It's one of my favorite bourbons at any price point, really. I do get, for me, there's a lot of caramel sweetness on the palate. I do get a little bit of that caramel apple note, which I don't know if that's a strain. I mean, I did pick that up a lot more with the Woodford Reserve, but I'm getting a little bit of that with this. Of course, there is a lot of oak. It's very pronounced, very bold, which I like that with bourbon. I like there to be a lot of that charred oak presence, and that imparts a lot of the vanilla, which I definitely get with this. It follows through from the nose to the palate, the vanilla. I'm not getting any floral notes. As I continue to sip on this, I do pick up a little mint note, but I think it's more of like a menthol type thing. It's not necessarily like a fresh mint leaf type thing. It's more of like a menthol for me.
Yeah.
I really don't get, let me get one more sip. There may be a touch of rye on the finish, but for me, it's really not heavy on the rye. I was drinking the Canadian Club 100% rye the other day, and that is rye heavy. This, for me, is more sweet and mellow and caramel and apple and toffee and vanilla. The rye spice for me is minimal. I guess it's there, but it's very minimal.
Yeah. I saw that Canadian Club 100% rye today, and I saw Jack Daniel's rye today, and you froze up. And then I
think my internet went out for a second.
That's okay. I'll say this real fast. I saw a bourbon that I want to buy for 2019 because, I don't buy too many of those. The one I saw that I think I want to buy, it's only $13.97, and it might drop. or sell out before I buy it, but I don't think it will. It's called Jim Beam Prohibition Non-Chill Filtered Bourbon.
Repeal.
You're
Repeal batch.
Refill, yeah.
Yep. I've seen it. It's not $19.99, you said?
$13.97.
Wow, you guys get a great deal. We can get it for cheapest I've seen. It's $18.99. So most places is $19.99.
So I should jump on that at Walmart, huh? $13.97.
Yeah, I would probably take advantage of that.
Okay. See, I wasn't aware. I know Albertsons had it on sale for $13.97, and then Walmart had that's just their regular price. So I said, oh well.
Kind of has that cream colored label with the red badge in the middle.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
one. Non-chill filtered, and it's higher proof.
Now, John, I want to tell you how come I really get the rye on this, just so you know where I'm coming from. And that is because yesterday I was drinking the Weller Antique 107. And I paid $24.99 for it, which is exactly the same price I'd paid for this. This is a pure wheated bourbon. And you can really, from my memory, you know, this is the last thing I had on my palate yesterday. This is the first thing I've had on my palate today. So I really can taste the difference. You know, I really notice it compared to this last night. So that's kind of how it. And I drink a lot of bourbon. I drink a lot of scotch, but I also drink a lot of bourbon. I like both. I'm one of those guys that I can crisscross back and forth. Doesn't faze me a bit. Irish whiskeys, some rye whiskeys. Rye whiskey with me, it's either a hit or a miss. Either I like it or I don't like it. And I got a couple down there that I just literally almost want to just pour down the drain. I mean, I just literally do not like them. But I want to keep them around to do a video on it. But I'm not going to do it any justice because I've watched other people's videos and they think highly of it. And I'm like, just doesn't work for me. So anyway, but I really, you know, yeah, I have a real distinctive comparison because of what I did yesterday, if that's understandable to you. So, and you really do notice and to me, I noticed the rye on the finish. What I'm looking for is cinnamon and nutmeg on this, and I'm not getting either one. I'm getting more of an allspice for the spiciness. And maybe, and this is going to sound crazy to you guys, maybe just a little bit of chili pepper.
Chili pepper.
Yeah. And I'm talking like you have when you're making chili, you know, that
Maxine, yeah.
Yeah, just the basic chili pepper. And I'm not talking real dominant or rich, but I get a little bit of that just on the back of my tongue when it goes down. That's in the finish for me is the spiciness. It's sweet up front and it finishes spicy for me.
Yeah. Now Weller is Buffalo Trace, right?
Yeah, this is a Buffalo Trace product. They don't divulge. I'll probably hit my mic. I'm sorry about that. They don't divulge their actual mash bills, and I'm not sure about Old Forester either, though. But this is a wheated mash bill. Buffalo Trace has a 1 and a 2 mash bill on their rye. One's a little bit more high rye. The one's a little less high rye. I forget which ones. Eagle Rare, I think, is the lower rye. And I don't want to get into all that because I'd have to go down and look at my notes, and I don't have them with me up here in the dining room. So, but yes, this is a wheated bourbon. This is 107 proof. And is another thing for you. I drank a bottle of this when they had the little flat squat bottles. Probably 15 years ago, maybe. The last one I had. And to me, it was ho-hum then. It's a ho-hum bourbon. Like yesterday, me and my daughter, I opened it the other day and I liked it. It really caught me off guard because I bought it just to do a review with it. Then I really liked it. So I sipped on it enough to get familiar with it. And then yesterday, me and my daughter went to do a review of it. She's my camera girl. And I'm telling you, it's either my palate has changed, which is very possible in 15 years because nothing stays static. Things you really like, you find you don't care for much anymore, and vice versa. But this really appeals to my palate now, or else it's actually gotten better. because I got a bottle of the 12, the age stated 12 downstairs. I like this better than that. That's the first thing I did yesterday. I got home, I poured that 12, and that's what's going on.
Dang.
I didn't do it on camera like you do, Ron. It's just something I sit down and do quietly, but I just wanted to. I thought it tasted better, and it does. To me, it appeals more to me. But we're here about this. I'm really going down a rabbit hole, so I'll kick it back to you guys. Go.
That's I know what those squat bottles you're talking about, because that's the same bottle design they use for the infamous Hartley brandy. So those bottles are for the good, the bad, and the ugly. But I got to say one thing about Hartley brandy. I don't care what you say about it, but you can't say you won't remember it, because you'll never forget it. I don't know. I'm going to give you my final analysis, okay? And then John and Illy, you can give your final analysis. And then Robert the Whiskey Scout. And then I'll read the comments, and then we'll shut it off. I don't know a lot about whiskey, okay? And so if there's something that I'm not supposed to like, I'll probably go on air oftentimes and say I like it, and I don't realize I'm not supposed to like it. So that's a danger for me. To me, and this is coming from somebody who doesn't know much, I really like it. To me, it tastes very good. It has nice woodiness. The finish is a soft landing. It's easy going. It is 86 proof, so now to me that's a lot. Y'all are laughing like, oh, you ding dong. That we drink 100 proof stuff all day long. You weak 80 proof wimp. I'll be the first to admit that I'm a weak 80 proof wimp. So there's no insult taken, because I wouldn't even grasp what you're trying to. I wouldn't even grasp the put down. So I really like it. I would recommend it. It's like I said, 86 proof is above where I like to be. But to me, I'm not gonna rate it, because I'm not doing that till January 1st, 2019. But I'm giving it 2 thumbs up, and I don't have any complaints about it. But that's me. If everybody else wants to find deficits, I don't take offense to that. You got to call it, like my whole working model is, you have to call it as you see it. You must do this. Okay, John and Neil, and then the Whiskey Scout, and then the comments. Your audio has not. I'm going to go to the Whiskey Scout and then back to John and Neil, because his audio is dead. Okay, Whiskey Scout.
I think I wouldn't pay $24.99 again for it, but I think $19.99 is the perfect price point for this bourbon. I think in that price point era and what it competes with, it does just fine. You said it best when you said it's not overly complex. It does what it does. The only major detractor for me is it is a little heavy on the wood side. That wood side character is just a little heavy, but for some people, they're going to like that. So you got to remember, it's an individual thing. It's a good basic bourbon. It's better than the 100. It's better than that signature 100. I'll tell you that right now. I will not ever buy another bottle of that. But if I walked into a liquor store in a small town and they only had 2 or 3 bottles to choose from, I would consider this. It depends on the bottles, Again, if I had an Evan Williams bottled in bond versus this, I'm going to choose the Evan Williams bottled in bond. It's just a better bourbon, I think, overall. But it's not a bad bourbon. I mean, everybody needs to try it in some fashion or form. This is one I wish they would put out in 200 mils or you got 375, I think.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah. That's what you want to tackle this with, is a 375 or 200, because you don't spend a lot of money and you get to feel, you get an idea of what you're getting into. And if it's in your ballpark, you're going to love it and run with it. And that's just kind of how it is. For me, it's not in my ballpark. There's too many other things in this price point that I like a lot better than this. But that's not to say that I think this is bad bourbon. This is crafted well. It's a well-made bourbon. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's just a personal palate thing.
Yeah, and I always preach that. That's the sermon I preach all the time. It's a personal preference issue most of the time.
Yes.
It's usually not a quality problem. It's a personal preference. And a lot of people confuse those two things.
Yes.
I watch videos and they'll say, well, it's bad because I don't like it. And I always jump back and say, what are you talking about? They'll say, like, this is a bad example, but it's a good example in a way. Like the Budweiser Clamato Chelada. I mean, people say, oh my gosh, what are you talking about? All right,
I like it.
All right. But I've heard people say, this is no good because I don't like clams. Well, wait a minute. Time out. Now you're saying not only is the Budweiser bad because you don't like clams, all dishes made with clams are bad because you don't like clams. So I just that kind of stuff just drives me mad, you know. Yes. There's a lot of food I don't like, so I'm not going to say it's bad because I don't like it.
Yes.
It's bad if it's poorly made. It's not bad because you don't like the flavor of some item. Okay, now
one final thought. As we sit here, this is very drying on my palate. Do you notice that on yours? That's
because I keep drinking water. Yep.
Yep. Exactly.
And that's why. And another thing, when you talked about the wood, it stuck in my head because I said early on in this video, if you're not a person that likes a lot of heavy wood, you better run fast from this.
Yep.
It's going to have that wood now.
Yep. Good job.
And that Stedman Select will really knock you for a loop. Now, what do you think, John, if your audio's back? Do you like it? Robert likes it with reservations. I like it a lot. And what do you say? You don't hear anything, huh, Robert?
Nope.
No, his audio. He might have to reboot. No, we can't hear you. You can type it. You can type it. All right. I'm going to see what the comments are. We'll just go a different direction here. And then I want to read what other products Brown-Forman makes. Oh, this is what I wanted to ask you. My friend David and I were talking about this because he hangs out at a place where they just love Jack Daniels all day long. They're like fanatics, really.
Any better?
What would you, yes, and I'm going to get right with you. What would you choose, Robert, the Whiskey Scout? Would you choose if you had only two choices? It's a hypothetical question. If somebody said, I've got Old Forester Original and I've got Jack Daniels, which one do you want? What would you pick?
I'd take the Old Forester Original.
Okay, same company. That's why I asked. You know, same people. Yeah, I would go with Old Forester myself.
Yeah, I like it better than the old. Jack Daniels #7. There's nothing wrong with it either, but this is gonna. I like the flavor profile on this better.
Talking about the old #7 or the #7 green label?
Not the green label. That one that's rough. That's kind of rough stuff. But the regular black label #7. And yeah. I've never been real big fan of that. The Gentleman Jack is much better. And then as you climb up the single barrels, they get much better. So.
Okay. Now, John and Neely, you have the floor.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, let me go quick before my audio deteriorates. Okay, so I like the Old Forester a lot. I like the boldness from the charred oak. I think you get a lot of caramel, a lot of sweetness, a little bit of rye on the back end, but nothing too crazy for me. The finish is pretty short. It's very inviting. It's one of my favorite in this price point. I do think it's better than Jack Daniels, Jim Beam. I like it better than Maker's Mark. I like it better than Woodford Reserve. I think the next step up for me would be like Blanton's or the Four Roses small batch, something like that. But in the $19.99 price point, I think this is probably my favorite.
Wow. So you choose this over Jack Daniels?
Absolutely. All day, every day.
Whoa. You just made a whole lot of enemies. Hey, well, but I asked a question. Hey, a lot of the ones you named, I did have the Blantons. Yeah. I even went to the Blantons bottling plant where I made a video of it. I was surprised that they hand label them. Those people sit around sticking
Not sure I could take this over Maker's Mark.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I think Maker's Mark's a little better.
Oh,
for me.
Right.
I can't remember what all you mentioned, John. You mentioned Maker's Mark and several others, but
Maker's Mark, Jim Beam, Jack Daniels. I think this is better than all of those.
Yeah.
Okay, that's on par to me with the Jim Beam standard. I will go that far. The double-edged Jim Beam was a much better project, or double A's. They used to have the old 8-year standard on it, or even the one they released, the Distiller's Cut, is a much better product than this to me. But yeah, Maker's Mark I'd prefer it to. But it's better than Jack, but I'd put it on par with Jim Beam White Label.
Y'all might not talk to me anymore, but after I say this, but you know I've never had Maker's Mark.
Oh, you can't drink everything, Ron. I mean, heck, if I drank everything I wanted, I'd be broke and drunk.
Yeah, it's true. And I'll mention this as a side note real fast, and I mean fast. I was at Walmart this morning, and I was looking around in their liquor section, and they had that Skull vodka. So I said, let me look at this Skull vodka. So I'm looking at it, and it says, I said, what are you talking about? It says world famous since 1849. I said, wait a minute. How did this slop bucket become world famous since 1849? I'm calling it slop bucket. I never had it, you know. But I'm saying, what is the story behind this? So it made me even more fascinated to buy it. And I thought to myself, it is only $6.49. But I didn't buy it. But I mean, I put it in a mental note. Maybe one day I'll take the plunge and buy that Skull and that Dobra. I don't know. I have a perverse attraction to these type of.
Oh, I do too. The alien vodka with the alien heads. Have you seen that?
No, but if it's
their shtick on that one is they run it through. I think they filter run it through meteorites. They put in a little alien head, and it's got kind of a greenish tint to it. I got a little bitty 50 mil of it. I bought it because, like you, it's like, it's neat. And I ain't never going to drink it.
Right. If it's a ne'er-do-well, I can't resist. Okay. Now, but I haven't bought any Dobra or Skull yet. But if you looked in my cabinet, you'd either laugh or cry. All right. Now, Iron Man Spartan 2 says, hey, Ronald, I'm drinking a Ledge Blonde Belgian beer, 6.6% alcohol, very nice beer with Jack Daniel's shots. Well, I've never heard of Ledge, but oh, you mean Lef? Oh, yeah, I've had Lef. And when I was in Manhattan in New York City, I bought the Lef Brun, and that was dynamite. Ronnie, when will review Falstaff beer? That's aldehydes. Well, when it exists again. Iron Man says, I bought some Croft Pink Port today. 19.5% alcohol, very pleasant drink. I've never had it, but I tried it, of course, as you know. What is your favorite commercial Euro lager, says Iron Man Spartan? Oh, you mean mass-produced Euro lager? Well, I'm afraid I would have to go with Staropramen. Either that or Carlsberg Elephant. Aldehyde says, laugh out loud at enemies. And Tim's Brew says, cheers, all. Hey, Tim, cheers to you. If you ever want to join us on this thing, let me know. What's up, John, he says. Well, let's look at Brown-Forman real fast, and then I'm going to bed. People say it's really early to go to sleep. I know, but when I wake up tomorrow, it's going to be really early for me getting up, and you're going to still be sleeping. All right. They make whiskey, Jack Daniels, that line, the Woodford Reserve line, Old Forester, Early Times. They make some Canadian whiskey. They make a whiskey that's kind of new, right? Called Cooper's Craft. And then Slane Irish whiskey. The Scotch they make is the Ben Riach. The Glendronach.
Glendronach.
Yeah. And then Glenglassaugh distillery. The distillery. Tequila is Herradura, El Jimador, Don Eduardo, and Pepe Lopez. The vodka is Finlandia. Liqueur is Chambord, which everybody knows Chambord. The wine is Corbel, but you see that includes brandy. You gotta watch this company because it'll say Corbel wine. Then you click on the section, and then they talking about the brandy. Well, brandy is a liquor, you know. But anyway, they make a lot of stuff. Let's see. Oh, Collingwood, Canadian Mist. Okay, Collingwood and Canadian Mist, same company. All right, well, that's it. I don't want to. There's probably about 50 other hidden brands. You know, these companies have all these hidden brands that they don't bother listing on their website for whatever reason.
I just edited a review on Ben Riach 10 Curiositas. It's a peated malt from Scotland.
Oh, yeah.
2 days.
It was good. Was it good?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Now you're making me want to drink scotch. That's it. I'm breaking all the rules. Forget my schedule. Forget my quota.
I think we're going to be down your way in northern Louisiana come holidays. So I get a hold of you, try to get a hold of you before we leave just to see what you're doing. So
yes, I may be around. I may not be around because I might go ride on a road trip.
Okay.
But it's one of those either or. But I mean, yes, please contact me because more than likely I'll be around, you know.
Okay, I will. I got to make sure I don't have a work issue come up either because sometimes around Christmas times, a lot of guys bail and I'm the sucker that says I'll take the money.
Yeah.
So
take the money and run like Steve Miliband said. Hey, well, John and Neil and Whiskey Scott, I sure appreciate you joining me for this Old Forester examination.
Enjoyed it, loved it, had fun.
Yeah, glad we did it. One of my favorites.
And it looks like the only thing, it's hard for me to say what my favorite whiskey is though because I don't have enough experience. Now, the only thing we have coming up in December is the Crabari Marsala, which the Whiskey Scout is welcome to join, although he probably doesn't have any interest in that. But if you got $4.99 to waste, but Crabari Marsala, and that would be interesting to me and John Neely and James P. Madonna. And then
I'd be puzzled. You'd see a big puzzled face like, what is this? I don't even know if I've heard of it.
Yeah, Crabari Marsala is famous in the cooking world.
Okay.
A lot of restaurants know about it. But for people that are into whiskey and Scotch, you know, Scotch whiskey and bourbon whiskey, that would probably be totally unknown to them.
Dark side of the moon.
The dark side of the moon, yeah. All right, but we run with those kind of quirky things too sometimes. And then in 2019, I have a lot of ideas for examinations, so I think we'll see a lot of stuff coming. Well, you guys take care. Take care, world, and we'll be seeing you soon. And that's the end of this video.